with recruiting, just, I guess, can you talk about from your perspective how you've handled all the changes in the rules over the years and how they're so much younger now? And
yeah, the recruiting thing, like a lot of things, it just over time has changed, and not so much for the positive. I mean, there are always kind of, you want to call them loopholes, or in the rules, or ways that you can do things in a way that was, really wasn't intended. And that's kind of what's happened with recruiting right now. I mean, it was intended, for student athletes in their senior year of high school to be able to have their way paid to go on to up to 5 campuses and have a chance to weigh their options and look at things, meet people on the team, spend 48 hours on campus with the team, and make a decision a little closer to the time that they were actually going to go to school. But there was always this option that people could do things on their own, and that was okay. If they come onto your campus, if they call you, you can talk to them, you can recruit them. If they come onto your campus, you can recruit them, and that kind of thing. And slowly over time, people began to take advantage of that more and more, and coaches from our side began to encourage that more and more. So now that something that was supposed to be paid for by the schools and not be a burden on, student athletes and their families, and student athletes could consider their options and do it in a time that maybe they were a little more mature and had a better understanding of what was important to them at that time, because it was closer to the time they were going to school. That's all, been changed. And every year now it gets earlier and earlier, and there's more and more pressure for families to spend their own money to go to several different places with no assurances that there's going to be a scholarship there for them. But to go to these places and then to make a decision earlier and earlier. This year, a lot of people are going to have their decision made before, well, they already do. Maybe not a majority, but maybe a majority. The juniors in high school have already, made their decision, and here we are, in early November. It's not a good thing. It's not good for them. It's not good for their club and their club coaches, and it's not good for us. I hope it's something that, I know the NC2A is looking at it. I hope it's something that that they'll find a way to help us resolve and protect us from ourselves, I guess, if you will, and get back to more, at least, the way this was intended to be done.
What advice would you give, though, until it's changed?
Well, I'd love to say, hey, we're not doing that, but if we don't do that, if we don't, play the game the way it's being played now, we don't get, athletes. Mm-hmm. There's nobody left by the time, you do it the way it should be done, the way I think it should be done. So, but there are a lot of people that are very adamant that nothing's wrong with this, and kind of the free market thing. If that's what people want to do, who are we to tell them that they can't, make a decision whenever they want? I just think we're going down a slippery slope, and it's getting worse and worse. It's not just in gymnastics; it's in every sport. It's a problem in every single sport. So I hope some rules will be implemented here in the foreseeable future that will get us back to a more reasonable approach, a more timely approach to recruiting.
Yeah. What about for the actual girls who are going through this process? And I know they can call the coaches at a certain time and everything, but from your standpoint, what if you could just tell the girls what they should be doing and how they can help themselves with all of this?
Well, again, the way I think it should be done, or the way it is being done.
In dealing with the way it is now,
yeah,
how to get through it.
Dealing with the way it is now, there's a finite number of scholarships, and depending on the type of school you want to go to, you got to be aggressive. If you want to go to, some of the top schools, you better get out there, make sure that they're interested in you, and get involved with the coach, and get on their campus, and get it done, because that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
You know, again, I don't think that's right, but I think it would be dishonest of me to say, you know, don't worry about it, you know, go at your own pace, you know, things are going to be there for you. And for some, it will. If you're an Olympic team member or a world team member, you can go at your pace, and people will probably wait for you. But for a majority of people, you know, you're competing against other people for those scholarships. So, you know, I always advise recruits, don't wait to respond, but be assertive. And if you're on the front end of things, then you're ready for whatever happens. I don't think it's right, but I think that's real.
Yeah, it's the way to handle it.
That's the way it is.